Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Monday Night Raw. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Share them, leave a like, comment below, and know your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. And, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, I'm able to get you Raw on the same exact night that it is posted because Raw was early today because they are doing a double taping of SmackDown and Raw. SmackDown is currently in progress right now. Some of the spoilers are out there. Seems like a pretty good show. That's going to be happening on July 4th. But yeah, they did double so that way the whole crew can have the whole week of 4th of July off to spend with their families. And I think that's really awesome. I don't mind these double tapings, again, if this means the talent and the people behind the scenes who build the rings and all that, and again, all the electric crew as well can just have a week just to really spend time with their families when they are always on the road to give us the entertainment that we desire so much. So really happy with the early start time because again, it was weird. It was 7:30 when Raw ended, and I was like, I guess I'll go grab me a tea or something because usually I go straight to bed afterwards because I got work in the morning. But yeah, I'm able to get y'all to this, so let's get into it, shall we? I thought this episode of Raw was very good. Some people are saying it was better than Night of Champions overall. I'm kind of going back and forth with that. I think the wrestling was really good on this episode. I mean, whether it be Bayley versus Lyra, the World Tag Team title match really stood out to me quite a bit because one, I wasn't really interested in it whatsoever. I mean, it's no secret the Raw tag division is really lacking, compared to SmackDown's tag team division, which honestly we probably, if there's ever a draft that really needs to happen, it needs to be for the Raw tag team division. Some of those teams on SmackDown just need to come over to Monday nights, and then maybe we'll have a little bit more balance within the divisions. But I did like the way that the New Day and Judgment Day went about it because it was heel versus heel, which also part of me was not that interested in it because, again, I just didn't think the New Day were going to lose their titles, and they did. And I just like how, because, they're wrestling, and one, the crowd didn't really seem that into it because, again, it was bad guy versus bad guy. But then as the night progressed, it did seem like maybe they were trying to pace their excitements levels because they knew they had these double tapings. They were here for 4 hours, so they were just trying to be like, okay, all right, let me save my breath because some other things are going to happen. I know some other people that are going to be happening on the Blue show. But the crowd wasn't really into it until the match just kept going. And then when the story became evident of, all right, we're just going to see who can out-cheat the other because they were both poking each other in the eye. They were both doing all these moves. That ending sequence, once it gets to the point where JD has the face lock on, I believe it was Kofi or maybe it was Xavier, had the face lock on him, and Finn goes for the coup de grace, and then he gets out of the way and he hits JD McDonough. Boy, the match just went to a whole other level. It was just, at that point, again, just going to out-cheat the other one. All right, I'm going to do a surprise roll-up. No, I'm doing a surprise roll-up. Okay, now we're going to do a tag team move. Now we get the tag team. Again, it was just a nice back and forth. Again, they were both just being so gritty and dirty with what they had to do, and Judgment Day pulled it out. Big pop for Finn Balor. It was just really good stuff, and I did like the visual of the Judgment Day all having the gold. I mean, we got a little tease of it when Dominic came out, and those three had it, and then we got the clarification on the tag team scene, which we all kind of knew Roxanne was just going to replace Liv Morgan, and at Evolution, we're going to have a Fatal 4-Way tag team match. One of the teams does get announced on SmackDown, the SmackDown tag team, because it is them two versus a SmackDown tag team, a Raw tag team, and an NXT tag team. We do figure out the SmackDown tag team on Friday. Won't spoil it here in case if you don't want to be spoiled at all. But it's a good choice. It's interesting. It's an interesting storyline choice on how we are going to progress things going forward. But yeah, that when they were all in the clubhouse and they take the vote, they finally let Roxanne in and they do the cheers with the titles. Really liked it. I really liked the stuff. I do think this storyline needs to wrap up pretty soon. But for right now, I feel like they're got a second breath for sure. That I'm willing to go on this ride with them to see how this all ends and see if this all implodes or maybe they could become stronger as we wait for Liv Morgan to return. Another aspect that I wasn't the hugest fan of was the opening with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Because one, the fact that we're giving our world champions the choice to pick their opponent at Evolution just doesn't really sit right with me fully. Because, one, I just think people should just earn title shots as opposed to, hey, you get a title shot. And if this was the plan going forward, we could have had Io scouting people, because last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, whenever we knew Asuka was going to the final, and Io and Asuka have a conversation like, hey, this is a dream match of mine to do this. And then to come out and say, I want to face you, Rhea Ripley. I don't know. Like, I know Rhea Ripley got the big win at Night of Champions. I feel like that was enough to justify it. Pretty much, like, she hasn't hardly lost. Then she beats Raquel in a really big fight field. Okay, now I think I should get this. Io should have been like scouting, if anything, because I will say this. Again, this isn't too much of a spoiler, but we basically do the same thing on SmackDown. Again, I'm not going to release who Tiffany chooses, but the fact that we, like, hey, just choose your opponent is pretty lazy to me. Like, we could have had like a number one contenders match or something to just really get it going. I mean, we had 2 weeks, but I guess we needed our world title matches to be set, because now we have the 3 set after this week. But that one I wasn't the hugest fan of. It wasn't the greatest opening either. It felt very rushed. It never really hit that second gear. They kind of were just like circling around their words. Now, with that being said, I am looking forward to the match, Io versus Rhea. They have great chemistry with each other. It's going to be an amazing match. It's a match you can't really call either way, because it depends on what we want to do at SummerSlam. Because Rhea doesn't necessarily need to be in a title match to have a match at SummerSlam. She will be booked on that, especially with it being 2 nights. Do you really have Rhea in a world title cover that up? Because you got to fill 14 matches at that point. Io can keep the belt and maybe face an Asuka at the biggest party of the summer, while Rhea goes into another feud somewhere else with whoever it may be. Maybe Bianca comes back and we do that proper one-on-one program. I don't know, because, Jade and Naomi are going to be preoccupied with the WWE women's scene during that time. So what is Bianca to do? Because supposedly she's going to be healthy by that point. Who knows, right? So again, I don't think it's, a lot of people are saying, well, Rhea's going to win the title. I don't think it's that obvious. I do think Io could possibly get the win, because they already did the tidbit. Io has never lost to Rhea Ripley. We keep that story going, and that's something we can go back to for as long as we want to go to, really. I mean, we've been doing this whole tidbit. Sami Zayn has never beaten Drew McIntyre, and he still hasn't. So again, I don't think it's as black and white as people as making it out to be. I do think Io has a shot to get the defense. But yeah, if we were going to do this, our world champions were going to choose their opponent at Evolution. I feel like we could have had a little bit more fun with it. Again, having Tiffany and Io scouting out the women's roster because they want to face the absolute best. And then we get to the conclusions that we are at. Again, Friday, we'll talk about it a little more. But, it's interesting, to say the least. But overall, I don't really like it with how we went with the execution, because it just felt like, well, we need world title matches. Yeah, they choose. As for the other thing, again, the wrestling was really good. Bayley versus Lyra was really good. Wasn't a huge fan of the finish of the double pin. We knew something like that was going to happen, whether it be a DQ, Becky comes out and causes it, double pin, double count out, something. But it was just the way the placement of them, because it really did look like Lyra just won because she was clearly more on top. I get it, both of the shoulders were on the ground. But yeah, I just wasn't the hugest fan of that ending. The main event scene is starting to get a little bit more beefy as well, because Gunther talked with Seth, but he has the match with Goldberg, and then here comes Punk, chases out Seth Rollins, and then Punk pushes Gunther as well. Is that a tease for SummerSlam? Then here comes LA Knight through the crowd. They have a brawl through the concessions. That was pretty cool. If you look at the background, you see the bartender also losing. Like, oh my God, they're fighting in front of me. That was really funny to see. They run out. That gets confirmed for Saturday night's main event, LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. And I just got to say, it really bugs me on the graphic because LA Knight is in the red font and Seth Rollins is in the blue font. But LA Knight's the SmackDown superstar, so certainly he'd be the blue font and Seth Rollins should be in the red font. Really minor, very, very minor nitpick, but a nitpick nonetheless, and it really bugs me. It truly does. But yeah, still looking forward to that match. How does Punk stay out of it? Because, you know, him and LA Knight had that thing going, look, I know you have your problems, but you need to get back in line. And LA Knight saying, I am the line. Not really sure how I like that line, but, you know, take a drink every time I say line. But good conversation between those two. How do we get Punk into the title picture? Again, if it's Gunther versus Punk at SummerSlam, how do we get there without him beating Seth Rollins? And then does Seth Rollins cash in on Punk after he wins the title? And then we do that feud on the back half. Do people still want that too? That's the question, because you have to assume, surely a Saturday Night's Main Event, hijinks presumes, right? Because, you know, they said Plan B is being in effect. Maybe this is where Ethan Page or Ricky Saints comes into play for Seth Rollins' crew. That's Plan B, is to add another member. But a tribal chief needs to return pretty soon. And I would assume one of the matches at SummerSlam is Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. And that it would probably be the night one main event. I mean, Gunther versus CM Punk is there. That would probably be the opener, if anything. But Rollins versus Roman is main event level. And that would be night one, because, you know, now, you know, it's basically confirmed it's Cody Rhodes versus John Cena at SummerSlam for night two. So, yeah, I mean, I would assume at Saturday Night's Main Event, Rollins' crew's like going to jump LA Knight. Maybe Sami Zayn and Jey Uso get involved as well, because with how the ending went, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker winning it. I kind of like the tag team name that Punk gave it, Braun. That's pretty funny to me. They start beating them up. Jey Uso comes out with the chair. Maybe there's another tag team match at Saturday Night's Main Event. But yeah, Roman Reigns going to come back and clean house pretty much. And again, that should be the match, is what I am thinking. But yeah, overall, this episode of Raw was pretty good. It was easy to watch. Never really hated myself. Really surprised with the match quality. Again, I go back to that World Tag Team title match where I just wasn't interested at all. But as the match kept progressing, I just got more invested. It went from a match that I do my laundry to where, all right, laundry, you can wait. I had to see how this is going to end, and it was really investing. Also, like the stuff we did with AJ Styles and Dominic. That was really funny with the Dr. Snow goes, you can't hit me, AJ. If you hit me, you never get IC title shot again. Reads it, even pulls out the glass. Even after Dominic made fun of him, goes, yep, you're a punk ass. That was so funny. El Grande Americano lives with Ludwig Kaiser taking it over because he was in the background. I gotta say, I'm just really funny to see how this is going to be justified, because either Chad said, hey, Ludwig, I know you've been in the bag, just take it over for me. Or Chad gave Ivy Nile the reins to be the leader. So is this Ivy Nile's way of leading to keep El Grande Americano alive? And my friend was telling me, he goes, Ludwig's going to take over as El Grande Americano. I was like, I mean, he's the best pick if you were to do that, but I just don't buy it, because Ludwig is taller than Chad, right? He's also skinnier than Chad. It just won't work. But I gotta say, when he popped out, he had the outfit on, and everyone looked at him. Also got a big pop, by the way. I was in. I bought it. I was just like, you know what? F it. Let's do it. I'm all for it. So yeah, a lot of comedy in this. A lot of interesting segments that we've done in it. Evolution's in full throttle. We now have 5 matches confirmed, I believe, if you count the SmackDown spoilers as well. Maybe there'll be another spoiler by the time I'm done recording this. But yeah, it was just an easy watch. It just feels like there is a full-on focus in WWE right now, and we are just hitting it full throttle, going all the way through. We know this all ends at SummerSlam. I would like more space in between the special events, though. I really would. I know why you're doing the next one. Well, you're competing with the other company, and fine, do whatever. Both cards look really, really interesting. All in, plus Saturday Night's Main Event and Evolution, I think doing a pretty stellar job with the makings of it. Just would have liked a little bit more time with it. But yeah, overall, can't really complain about this episode of Raw. I had a good time with it. I also appreciate it ending early. With that being said, guys, leave a like if you made it this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on this episode of Monday Night Raw. And of course, hit that subscribe button as it does help me grow into my YouTube career. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.